Right now at noon, the Joplin Humane Society is offering $25 adoption fees for Adopted Dog Month through October 15th.
And we are still warm and windy today, but we've got some changes in the forecast. We'll talk about that coming up.
Plus, we're getting spooky in style as we present this year's hottest Halloween costumes.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on KOAM News at Noon. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy. In today's top story, the Tyson plant in Knoll, Missouri will close on Friday, leaving about 1,500 people unemployed. The employees who chose to stay until the last day will receive $1,000 in compensation, but they're now dealing with the uncertainty about their future. Yaneth Gonzalez, who is originally from El Salvador, says that the situation has been especially stressful for immigrants who don't speak English and those who, unlike her, don't have their papers. Our reporter, Fernanda Silva, provided the translation.
They don't have anywhere to work because they left their lives there, bought their houses, have their cars, and many dreams they had. And now with this that is happening to them, it's been difficult for me to see them cry.
Yaneth Gonzalez also says companies hiring usually offer night shift, making it harder for women with kids. Tyson says they are offering a $5,000 transfer bonus and up to $5,000 assistance for moving expenses for team members who physically move to another Tyson Foods facility. Tyson's spokesperson says 16% of the workforce plan to remain employed by the company. And a Knoll, Missouri man is sentenced after pleading guilty to child sex crimes. Authorities say in July of last year, 60-year-old Gregory Elmore was caught trying to rape a child he was related to by the child's father. Tuesday, Elmore pleaded guilty to attempted statutory rape of a child under 14 years old. He is sentenced to 15 years in prison. The Joplin Humane Society is offering $25 adoption fees for Adopted Dog Month through October 15th, and this special is also a way to help lower their critically high number of animals. The Humane Society is encouraging anyone who can't take pets into their own homes to consider other ways to help.
They can definitely come out and help us socialize the animals here. We're always in need of supplies, so everything that you might use at home for your pets, we can use it here.
Supplies they regularly need are dry and wet pet food, bowls, collars, and leashes. You can visit the Joplin Humane Society Facebook page for updated information on their needs and how you can help.
And we've still got another warm and windy day across the 4 states. Taking a look outside from the MoDOT camera, 32nd and range line. So that cloud cover really starts to break up the further east it goes. But as we mentioned, it'd be roughly along and to the west of the I-49 corridor. And that is exactly where it has been today. We've also had the gusty winds out there. Yesterday started the day at 63, 13 degrees above where we should be for this time of year. And we made it up to 81 degrees out there. So again, well above where we should be for this time of year. Unfortunately, our gap on rain for the month is closing. We're down to just 1/100th of an inch over what we should be for this time of year. However, it's closing just in time for additional shower and thunderstorm chances later tonight. Taking a quick look outside, again, we've got those partly cloudy to mostly clear skies for some of us in southeast Kansas, still mostly cloudy. Sitting at 72 in Joplin, 71 in Pittsburgh, and we still have those wind advisories for parts of southeast Kansas and northeastern Oklahoma. They run until 7 this evening, and out to the west there, these gusts could be 40 to 45 miles an hour. So definitely want to be aware of that. And the rest of us not under wind advisory, still looking at wind gusts from 30 to 35 miles an hour. So we've got the gusty winds. They're going to continue. They're going to continue into tomorrow and then shift out of the west and still be gusty. Storms will be building in after midnight tonight, and then temperatures are going to fall again as we head into the upcoming weekend. We'll have a complete look at your forecast and all these big changes on the way here in a few more minutes. Caitlin?
Well, get ready, Halloween enthusiasts, to be spellbound because as this year's hottest Halloween costumes are revealed. We went down to Eagle Sales in Commerce, Oklahoma to get a first-hand look. Well, I got a feeling that we aren't in Kansas anymore. As a matter of fact, we're in Commerce, Oklahoma, where as you can see around me, we're getting the Halloween spirit here at Eagle Sales. They've got everything you need for spooky season this year.
So here at our store, I think some of our most popular costumes in the kids area is going to be some of our superheroes, our video game costumes, the Minecraft and things like that. We have Wednesday Addams, which everyone that's a Netflix guru loves Wednesday Addams. So we do have some really good popular ones. For the adults, we have mixtures of, we got scary, we got sexy, we got funny, we got inflatables, we got some really good masks. Be sure to check out our masks. We have ones with movable mouths. You do not see that very often. They're very high quality.
I think just dressing up is just fun. It's just something, you know, that you just, I don't know, it's even for adults, we're like children when it comes to Halloween, especially when it comes to dressing up. Like, you want to be this, you want to be that, you just, you know, it's just fun.
What's really unique about our store here in Commerce, Oklahoma is not only do we offer pumpkins and animatronics, we also have our little pumpkin patch outside, which we've been doing since 2018. That's actually what we grew this a part of. When we started this in 2018, we've always had the vision that we wanted to eventually turn this in to a store, and we're actually wanting to eventually have a fall festival down here. We'll have a little taste of it this year. Friday the 13th, we are going to have a little festival thing going on. We're going to have stuff for the kids to do, a little paint booth, get your face painted. We'll have our animatronic room going, pumpkins. We'll probably have pumpkin painting. So be sure to come out Friday the 13th. We'll try to have a food truck here and have some things going on. It should be a fun time.
I feel the need for speed, and I recommend that you speed on down here and get all of your Halloween necessities at Eagle's sales happening all this month long. Reporting from Commerce, Oklahoma, I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy.
And Eagle Sales will be hosting their Halloween party tomorrow on Friday the 13th from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. at 303 South Mickey Mantle Boulevard in Commerce, Oklahoma. That's a look at today's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Up next on the KOAM News at Noon. Israel says it won't end the Gaza siege, blocking food, fuel, and water from the territory until Israeli hostages are returned. We'll have the latest events unfolding in the Middle East. And later, we're making an Italian sausage toss in the Mr. Food Test kitchen. Stay tuned. Israel's military chief of staff spoke out for the first time since Hamas carried out massive terror attacks Saturday, saying the military did not meet the challenge of protecting the country. As Israel continues to pummel Hamas targets in retaliation, the Gaza Health Ministry announced the death toll there has climbed to 1,400. More than 1,000 people in Israel have also been killed, including 25 U.S. citizens. We want to warn you, some of the images in this report are disturbing. Natalie Brand has the latest from the White House.
Tanks in southern Israel fired at targets in Gaza, part of Israel's retaliation for Saturday's barbaric attacks by Hamas. The terror group fired rockets of its own Thursday into the Israeli city of Sderot. In Gaza, as Israel's relentless air assault continues against Hamas, wounded Palestinian children crowd the hospitals.
They keep saying, leave the Gaza Strip. Where to? They bombed everything.
Israel says it won't end the Gaza siege, blocking food, fuel, and water from the territory until Israeli hostages are returned. Sharon Lifshitz's elderly parents are among those abducted.
We need your help. We need the world's help to bring those survivors back home now.
U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken traveled to Israel and met with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu today, pledging additional U.S. support and noting the situation is personal for him.
I come before you not only as the United States Secretary of State, but also as a Jew. I understand on a personal level the harrowing echoes that Hamas's massacres carry for Israeli Jews, indeed, for Jews everywhere.
Later at a donation center, he met with survivors of the dance party that Hamas attacked.
We lost a lot of our friends, close friends, and lots of family members.
He embraced the young woman, and a crowd of volunteers showed their appreciation. USA! USA! Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
While in the Middle East, Blinken will also meet with King Abdullah of Jordan and Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas in an effort to prevent the conflict from widening. Still to come on KOAM News at Noon, we see what's cooking with Mr. Food.
Grab your bib and your appetite because we're serving up a big bowl of pasta and lots of good times. It's all right here in the test kitchen.
But first, despite some cloud cover out there now, thunderstorms not yet, but they are on the way. We'll take a look at that forecast when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM News at noon. So another warm and breezy day across the area. We've had some extra cloud cover, especially in southeast Kansas and really along and to the west of I-49. And we have the chance for thunderstorms increasing as we head overnight. So you may recall this morning, this map looked slightly different, but they have since updated the outlook for our thunderstorms tonight. So still just that low risk for some small hail gusty winds, but it cut off a little further to the west. It's now been pushed a little further to the east for both of those threats. And this will be after midnight tonight, so it's something we'll keep an eye on. It's not something we're terribly worried about, but a couple of stronger storms will be possible. So what are we looking at as we go down the road? Now we head into this evening, believe it or not, as we talked about this morning, the clouds will begin to clear out, which usually it's the other way around. The increasing clouds we're starting to see should actually indicate rainfall coming, but it won't be until midnight or slightly after. We'll start to see some scattered showers and thunderstorms developing across the region. And this is why they've kind of expanded those low-end risks for strong storms a little further to the east, because we're looking to maybe get a decent little line of thunderstorms in here. This is 2 o'clock tomorrow morning. Again, not widespread severe weather, but some strong thunderstorms possible. If anything, just some much-needed rainfall across parts of the area. Now, that line will push on through. Here we are at 4. It does begin to break up rather quickly, hence why that risk for stronger storms doesn't go much further east at this point. And then we'll just be hanging out with scattered showers and thunderstorms through the morning hours. It'll be about 11 o'clock tomorrow morning that this system will move out. And take a look at the wind arrows. Ahead of the system, we'll have a southerly breeze. Behind it, we're going to have a westerly breeze, and it's still going to be gusty. So a quick reminder, wind advisories, parts of southeast Kansas, northeastern Oklahoma, through 7 o'clock, because further west, some of those wind gusts could peak 40 to 45 miles an hour out there. MoDOT, the camera, 30-second and range line. We mentioned again the I-49 corridor. Here's some clouds back here, and you can see just as they increase the further west you head. Here's our camera at the KOAM studios looking back toward Joplin and Carl Junction. These clouds lifting off roughly to the north, which is why they're not expanding much further, and they're already beginning to break up. This morning kind of looked like that alien spacecraft out of Independence Day. Now we're getting a little more sunshine. We're getting, here comes some now, peaks of sunshine from the KDOT camera at 69 and East 520th Avenue. So they're getting to be a lot more broken out there than what they were this morning. Sitting at 72 in Joplin, that south breeze at 20, gusting upwards of 29 miles an hour. Over in Pittsburgh, similar situation, 71, still mostly cloudy on that side. South-southeast breeze at 20, and those gusts again reaching upwards of 30 miles an hour. I got 71 in Pittsburgh, so again, where the clouds have been thicker, still cool, but out west, you're still going to warm up. Those clouds will start to break up in the next 2 or 3 hours. 66 Neodesha, Chanute, Parsons, 74 in Miami, 71 Carthage, Neosho, and 72 down in Anderson. So for the rest of the day, still looking at highs, upper 70s, low 80s out there with the skies clearing and those gusty south winds. And then tonight, the thunderstorms will begin to move in. The winds will remain gusty outside of the thunderstorms, so bear that in mind, that we'll have some gusty winds outside of any thunderstorm activity that we see tonight. These thunderstorms, of course, hanging around till about mid-morning tomorrow. After that, the temperatures will begin to fall slowly through the day. That's the good news. They won't plummet, but we're going to start out our high in the upper 60s and gradually cool back down. And we'll still have a gusty westerly wind as we head into the afternoon hours following those storms. All right, so we're going to go much cooler heading into the weekend. We're talking upper 50s. On Sunday and Monday, temperatures begin to warm back into the mid to upper 60s by next week. But as our temperatures warm, our rain chances increase. See a few additional shower chances by Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. But of course, we'll be watching those storms tonight, keeping an eye on those for you. But again, not expecting anything too terribly widespread in terms of severe weather, just a stray strong storm or two out there.
All right, well, thank you, Chris. Stick around. We've got a special Italian dish in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. We'll be right back. It's time to check in with Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. Today he's making an easy pasta recipe that's filled with flavor and is sure to make everyone feel warm and welcome, no matter how messy their grin gets. Take a look.
One of my favorite things to serve when I have a bunch of friends over is a big bowl of pasta, some crusty bread, and of course, a bottle of wine to wash it all down. To keep things interesting though, I like to change up the shape of the pasta, like we're doing today. We start by cooking some pasta according to the package instructions. Here I'm using what is known as mostaccioli, which is similar to ziti, but the ends are cut on an angle. Now for the sauce. In a large pot, we begin by browning some Italian sausage. As for the type of sausage, that can be beef, pork, or chicken, and as mild or as spicy as you like. To that, we add a chopped onion and green pepper, along with some minced garlic. After that cooks for a bit, we pour in a couple of jars of spaghetti sauce and some Parmesan cheese. While this simmers, I'll drain the pasta, and then it's time to toss everything together. Mamma mia, does this look good or what? This just proves that the simplest things are often the best. Maybe top it with some fresh basil and a bit more cheese before letting everyone dig in. To get the recipe for our mostaccioli and sausage toss, all you have to do is visit our website. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a welcome to the family way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
To find this recipe along with many others, just head over to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com and click on Mr. Food. Now here's a look at the 4-state market prices.
We've got ourselves, again, a windy day out there today, upper 70s, low 80s. Thunderstorms move in after midnight tonight. Early high in the upper 60s, cooling through the day, much cooler heading into the weekend, upper 50s out there. And then we'll start to warm as we head into next week. Temperatures climbing back into the mid to upper 60s.
All right, well, coming up tonight at 5, a deeply divided Republican-led House adjourned Wednesday before voting on the new speaker. We'll have the latest developments. Plus, an Israeli woman living in Joplin talks about families still living in the country and how the war there is affecting them. And it's a family reunion at Precious Moments Chapel in Carthage, Missouri. Join us for those stories and more on KOAM News at 5. And that's the news for now. Thank you for joining us on KOAM News at Noon. Have a great rest of your day.